impressed. I've seen the film twice, and this is a movie you can take your whole family to see.
Alone Yet Not Alone is the true story of a pioneer Christian family of unshakable faith.
No matter how hard the trial, God will never leave you or forsake you.
Now showing. Tickets can be reserved at aloneyetnotalone.com.
Our work isn't easy.
The American Family Association.
On this fundamental issue, I will not yield, and Planned Parenthood will not yield.
All the odds against us. Faithfulness is the word.
My religion compels me, and I love it for it, to be against discrimination of any kind in our country.
Our rights come from nature and God, not from government.
All God asks of you is faithfulness, faithfulness, faithfulness.
Fighting for the family, standing for the church, laboring to return to a moral and biblically based culture.
This is the American Family Association at AFA Today.
So very glad you're with us from the belly of the news beast in New York City, the shadow of the Freedom Tower, the area right next to Trinity Cemetery, which is a historic burial ground here in North America, and right across the street from the 9/11 Memorial and Museum that is in the footprint of what used to be Tower 1 of the World Trade Complex. Kevin McCullough, glad you're with us. My phone number, 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. It is AFA Today on AFR Talk. Got lots of interesting news to get to today, especially something of interest from Nancy Pelosi that I want to ask you about when we get into this. Very odd request that she made of somebody of faith this week, but we'll get to that in a second. First, the breaking news, the top story of the news today is going to be, it is the capture of one Ahmed Abu Khatallah. Now, you're going, who's Abu Ahmed Khatallah? Well, let me tell you who Ahmed Abu Khatallah is. He's the guy responsible for the 9/11-2012 attack in Benghazi. And while I am very grateful that we have, on some level, captured him and he is now in custody, they say he's out of Libya. They say that he is, in fact, on his way to New York City. To the United States, rather, to stand trial. It took a long time. Journalists had an easier time tracking this guy down than the administration did for some reason. The New York Times, Fox News, CNN, this guy gave interviews to a ton of people. But he was captured near Benghazi by American troops on Sunday of this week. They're just they're just disclosing the details that happened around the attack that captured him and what they did. By the way, no American lives were lost. Yay. Always a good thing when we serve justice and no one else loses their life. And officials said, in fact, there were no casualties in the operation at all. They also said that all U.S. personnel have left Libya, so they're not. There's not a potential for retaliation. Now, here's the interesting thing about this: there is a 3-count criminal complaint against this guy. 3-count criminal complaint. This is what he's being charged with: killing a person in the course of an attack on a federal facility involving use of a firearm. I didn't even know that was a charge. I didn't even know that was a thing. Killing a person in the course of an attack on a federal facility involving use of a firearm. There's a lot of qualifiers in there that if it's not in there, I think it actually means something different. Like if you just said killing a person in the course of an attack involving the use of a firearm. Might not be as significant as one that's on a federal facility. He's also being charged with providing and conspiring to, quote, provide material support to terrorists resulting in a death. You think? Really? You think he provided support to terrorists? I thought this was all caused by that silly video thing out there. I thought they got the guy responsible for all this. Mrs. Clinton, it was my understanding that you were going to punish the filmmaker, because that's what you told the families as you whispered into their ears in the hangar at Andrews Air Force Base. I remember distinctly you in a speech to the people that were gathered there that you were going to see to it that you tracked down those responsible and that you put away people that would denigrate the God of Islam. So it's kind of interesting that we're charging this Ahmed Abu Khattala with supporting and giving material support to terrorists resulting in death. He's also being charged with possessing and using a firearm during a crime of violence. All right, so that's the 3-count criminal charges against him. Here's a question. Do you want a criminal court to try this guy, or should he be tried somewhere else? 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. In a statement, Attorney General Eric H. Holder Jr. said, and you knew you expected Eric H. Holder Jr. to step in. Eric H. Holder Jr. said that the Justice Department could bring more charges against Abu Khattala. The Washington Post is reporting that they learned about the capture Monday but agreed to request from the White House to delay publication of a story because of security concerns. Evidently, we were still getting our guys out of Libya. That's all good. Last year, the U.S. attorney in the district filed charges against Abu Khattala and at least a dozen others in connection with the Benghazi attack, but he had never been apprehended. So even though he's going on Fox News, giving interviews to the New York Times, lounging about having coffee in the middle of cafes in the midst of Benghazi, he wasn't able to do that forever. We went and got him we have. Officials speaking on condition of anonymity about the still secret operation would not say where Abu Khattala was being held. They said he was en route to the United States, but would not say when he was expected to arrive. So, by the way, there were 2 Navy SEALs that were killed, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. You remember those guys? He should definitely stand trial for their deaths. Whatever the charge, whatever fancy wording you want to make the charge, he should certainly be responsible for their deaths. Ansar al-Sharia was also designated a terrorist organization held specifically responsible for the 9/11-12 attacks, assault on the U.S. diplomatic compound in Benghazi. Now, wait a sec. When did that happen? Hold on a second. Ansar al-Sharia, also a designated terrorist organization and held specifically responsible for the September 11th attacks. Have you heard from this administration on any level where they have said Ansar al-Sharia was responsible for the attacks on Benghazi? Because I don't remember them saying that. I remember talk radio saying that. I remember me saying that. I remember lots of people saying it. Maybe second cousins, maybe Brent's brother-in-law. I remember lots of people saying it. I don't remember the administration saying it. That Ansar al-Sharia, an al-Qaeda subsidiary, was the designated terrorist organization and held specifically responsible for 9/11-2012. I don't remember Ansar al-Sharia being labeled that by the administration. I remember them talking about a video. I remember them talking about how they went in the middle of the night and so brave, going in the middle of the night with your little minivan, your little stockpile minivan from the federal government. And you pull up in your little minivan, go into the guy's house, middle of the night, you march him out, you do the perp walk all the way to the car. He's got the rag around his head, so he's trying not to show his face on camera. You get him in the car and you drive off just so you get the B-roll footage so that every news organization later that night can say, oh, well, the Obama administration got the guy that caused Benghazi today. I do not remember one time this administration saying that 9/11-2012 was a terrorist attack that was carried out by an al-Qaeda affiliate called Ansar al-Sharia. I don't remember it. I remember a whole lot of other people talking about it. I don't remember the administration saying it. I do remember endless conversations about some YouTube video and some guy that made some film that got, Muslims got mad about, and evidently they're such wild animals, they can't control their emotions when somebody says something mildly insulting, so they just went on rampages. And I do remember one other thing. I remember Hillary Clinton saying to the United States Congress that represent you and me that are our agencies of accountability to these yahoos that sit in the executive branch. I remember her saying to a senator, what difference does it make? I remember that. I don't remember her saying it was terrorists. I think the administration thinks that they got him. Oh, they got him. Oh, they got the guy that did Benghazi. Yay, now they can put Benghazi behind him. Not even close, Mr. President. Not even close. This does not make up for the mistreatment, disinformation that you gave to the families of the victims of 9/11/2012. Not even close. Former Madam Secretary. Not even close to good enough. Because Greg Palcott from Fox News could have taken him into custody months ago. You want to be a big hero, huh? Hey, look at what we did. We got the guy that did 9/11 Benghazi. Hey. And there are rounds of self-congratulatory stuff already going on in D.C. Just really, truly, awesomely pathetic. Because this wasn't who did it, remember? Remember, to the best of our information, Mr. Stephanopoulos, we believe we believe that the maker of this video created a riot that was incited, and people went nuts and they killed our guys. To the best of our knowledge, Mr. Chris Wallace on Fox News, we believe that this was a video. The best information we have, Mr. Schaefer at CBS News. To the best of our knowledge, Mr. Gregory on NBC News. So now they catch the guy that was the terrorist behind the whole thing, and we're supposed to do cartwheels. Hey, look at what a good job you're doing. Not even close to good enough, Mr. President. And I'm not trying to be mean. It's just you blew this. And tooting your own horn today is not going to do any help. It's not going to do any good. All right, so there was one thing that didn't turn out to be the way it was. I got another one. What did the president say on Sunday? Let me be clear. We are not sending any boots on the... There will be... What did he say yesterday? There will be no boots on the ground. None. No boots on the ground. Zero. Well, that turned out not to be true. Because on Sunday, the president already sent 275 boots to the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. By the way, I support this action. I believe this is smart. I'm concerned that the force may not be large enough. But he's also stockpiling about 500 Marines offshore with dozens of helicopters that are on standby in case, it gets really hairy when Al-Qaeda comes marching all the way to Baghdad, He's made it very clear, these guys, they're not there to fight Al-Qaeda. They're there to protect the embassy. Now, when Al-Qaeda, in tens of thousands of numbers, start storming the embassy, I don't know what we do then. But they do have to get into a significant section of Baghdad, and they have to go through some pretty tough barriers to get into the green zone. So, anyway, we're praying for the boys that are being sent over there. They were shipped out on Sunday, the day after he first said we're not going to send any troops over there. He had already sent them. The order was already going. Anyway, Kevin McCullough, always my phone number is open, 888-589-8840. Always, I'm interested in what you have to say. And always, we will discuss it here on this broadcast. This is AFA Today on AFR Talk. Stay with us.
An American Family Minute with Bert Harper, Director of Marriage, Family, and Personal Ministries for the American Family Association.
My wife Jan and I just celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary. We chose to spend this time with our family. Our 8-year-old granddaughter Chrisley made cards for us telling us of her love and appreciation. This reminded me of the gift God gave the world when He made male and female and placed them in the garden. He instructed them to become one and to multiply through marriage and family. The reason the American Family Association works to encourage and preserve marriage and family is because it is a gift from God. This gift brings peace and hope to a world that desperately needs help. Join the American Family Association as we stand for marriage and family, God's way.
The American Family Association, fighting to restore the moral foundations of American culture and aiding the church in fulfilling the Great Commission. Visit afa.net.
The Point of View Commentary with Kirby Anderson.
Does a solar eclipse provide evidence of intelligent design? That is what first got astronomer Guillermo Gonzalez thinking as he watched a total eclipse in India in 1995. In order to have a solar eclipse, you need to have an object come in front of the sun. Essentially, you could watch a partial solar eclipse on any planet in our solar system that has a moon, but Earth is the only planet where a total solar eclipse can be seen. As I point out in my book, A Biblical Point of View on Intelligent Design, the unique experience of a solar eclipse on planet Earth appears to be more than just coincidence. There are